Hi guys, so today's video is going to be on colour correction, and this is going to be quite a popular thing lately as people are learning more and more about it, and it does really help when you want that flawless kind of base for your foundation and for your skin to look as even as possible. A bit behind colour correction is basically the colour wheel. So in the colour wheel, all you have to do is look at the colour that you are trying to cover up. And if you look directly opposite to the colour on the wheel, that is the one that you will need to cover up that colour that you're trying to get coverage for. So for example, if you're trying to cover up redness, you'll look at the red on the colour chart and you look directly opposite and you'll see that it's green, so you need to use a green concealer. Okay, so orange or peach concealers are used mostly for covering the under eyes, for dark circles, can also be used for age spots. For example, if you see a bruise coming out because that's dark, one of those as well. And the tone of orange depends just on the tone of your skin tone. So if you have darker skin, you'll use a more kind of dark, brighter orange type, whereas if you're fair skinned, you're best to go for a peach, so that it just blends in the best to your skin that it can. Green concealer, obviously as we've said, is used for redness, so this can cover up blemishes, little blood veins on your face, just red patches that generally crop up on the face, redness if you suffer from, acne or eczema or something. That's the best one that's used for them. So lavender concealer is the one that's probably the least used, and not everyone needs this one, as it's for normalising yellow hued skin. So if you have any sallow complexions or yellow patches on your skin, then the lavender is used to really brighten up any of those areas, and it can also conceal very dark under eyes and dark spots on very bronze skin. So that is what the lavender one is for. And a yellow concealer is directly opposite the blue on the wheels, so that is used for very dark kind of blue under eye circles. So, like most people have just kind of translucent almost under eye circles, but some people do suffer from really blue or grey or purple under eye, so that is what yellow is used for. And yellow can also be used for just general brightening on any skin tone. And I forgot to mention when I was saying about orange and peach concealers, you can also use a pink hued concealer as well. You might find a light pink in one of your palettes, and that can be used for the under eyes as well. So today I use this hydrating face mask. It's just a moisture mask by Superdrug, only a couple of quid, and you just leave it on for 10 to 15 minutes and it just soaks your skin in moisture. And this is because with the colours for the colour correcting palette, they can be quite powdery, because when you think about it, you are adding just another layer of something to your makeup, so you want to make sure that it doesn't stick and sharp cakey, so just make sure your face is very clean and moisturised. And then next, just do a simple normal moisturisation. So I'm using Nivea Cream, which is just the plain old stuff, but it does the trick for me. So I'm just going to be moisturising my face for the first step. So just make sure to really get, again, into any patches that you find are drier than the rest of your face, and really work it in. And then if you can, and you have time, leave your moisturiser to settle in for just a few moments. So this step is optional, whether you want to prime or not, but I'm going to prime just to set a better base for this makeup. And because I'm going to be doing some more makeup on top to go out later, so I need it to stay on. So I'm just applying Professional by Benefit Cosmetics, just like so. You just need a tiny little bit around your nose area and around your T-zone. And you can pick up colour correcting primers, which may work. I'm not quite sure, I haven't tried them out, but with the colour correcting palettes and concealers, you probably don't need a colour correcting primer. A primer is just to get a smooth base, which might help for the application of the colour correction concealers and to also make your makeup last longer. And obviously the one that I'm using, Professional, reduces the look of pores. So that's that one. Okay, so what I'm going to be using to colour correct today is the Revolution Ultra Base Corrector palette, and I picked this up yesterday in Superdrug for £6. It's definitely worth getting. Comes with these colours. So over here we have a very light pink. Underneath, which is the one I'll be using, is more of a pinky peach tone, which suits my skin tone the best. Here we have the lavender. This is just a shimmer highlight for when you've finished colour correcting. Here we have the green. Underneath the green we have the yellow. And then these two, I believe, are just normal colour concealers to go over the top once you've colour corrected. So as you can see personally on my skin, I do have a bit of shadow underneath my eyes. You can see the circles. As you can see around here, I do have some blemishes. And I also have discoloration, kind of redness around this bit of my nose area. It's just always very red. And as for my eyelids, I'm going to be needing some colours on that because they're a bit yellowy and browny with kind of darker veins in them. So first step, I'm going to go under the eyes first. So I'm going to take the peach toned concealer here, and you just want to apply this with your ring finger. There's no point in doing it with a brush because it can just build up. Obviously all the colours will mix within the brushes, and with your finger you can control how much you're putting on, because with these you don't want to cake loads on, you want to slowly, gradually build the layers. So I'm just going to be applying this underneath my eyes. So I'm just starting right in the corner, kind of just tapping in like so. See, that's already really brightening that area. And what I'm going to do, especially for this video, is just leave all the different colours on in place before blending. So you can blend as you go, or you can wait until you've got all the colours on and then you can go for the blending. Now I'm going to move on to my eyelids. Okay, so yeah, as you can see on this one, I do have the darker veins around here. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up very well, but I do have a bit of yellowness. So first of all, I'm going to go in with the yellow, and this is for the kind of dark purpley blue veins on my eyes. And I'm just going to go right on top of those veins, just lightly dabbing like this. And I'm also going to take it into this bit here because I always have darkness around here. So that's instantly got rid of those veins. And then I'm going in with the lavender. This is because of that kind of tiny bit of discoloration, but I'm literally taking the smallest bit and just putting it where I find it, so on the crease. Okay, and next I do have a little bit of yellowness I find to tend to get around my lips. So I'm going to use the tiniest bit of the lavender, and I'm just going to dot this kind of where I find I get a bit yellow. Okay, so next onto the main bit for me is the redness. So with the green concealer, I'm going to start on my nose, as I can see that I have quite a bit of discoloration here. So again, just slowly tapping this in. You really want to try and not use too much, because you need to remember that there is going to be more going on top of this once you put your foundation on, your normal concealer. So just try and get to the main bits that you need covering up. I'm just going to go over these blemishes and kind of use my ring finger to spread this all around. Step is just to blend this all in. You can use a brush, you can still use your finger. I'm going to be using a sponge just to pat it in. As I did when I applied it, really try and work it in with your finger as much as you can to these places, just so that all the colours don't mix too much. And then yeah, just go over and make sure these are all patted in. And I'm using a damp sponge so that I'm adding extra hydration to everything I've just done. Make sure you're not spreading it around, make sure you're actually just putting it in like this. So a sponge or a stippling brush will honestly be the best thing for this. Okay, so as you can see already, comparing to my skin at the start of the video, everything is pretty settled in, and this is without concealer or foundation. So I'm going to take this concealer in the palette, and using my ring finger, I'm just going to put a tiny bit of this on, because I'm going to be putting a little bit more concealer on later after my foundation, so I don't want too much concealer. So I'm just mainly putting it under my eyes to really brighten those. So I'm using the sponge. And that's with the concealer from the palette. I just realised I've actually got a bit of redness up here, so I'm just gonna pop a little bit of green on and get that in there. Okay, so now I'm going to apply my foundation, and I'm using L'Oreal True Match. So for foundations, just use whatever you find best for your skin, whatever you like the most. Again, you can get colour correcting foundations, but if you've got all of this ready, then you may as well just use a foundation that's best for your skin tone. And don't feel like you have to go for a thicker and heavy coverage to cover your redness or things like that, because that's not the solution. The solution is colour correcting. So I'm just going to be applying this with my damp Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. I've gone ahead and finished the rest of my makeup for this evening. So I've done my eyeshadow, and then what I did is I went back under my eyes with this concealer, which is just by Complexion, to really brighten up that eye area. But as far as the colour correction goes, I'm really pleased with it. I can't see any redness, blotchy patches, and most of all, it's not looking cakey, and it doesn't look like I've got layers and layers on. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I really hoped my colour correction tutorial helped you with any problems you had. If you still have any questions, then just comment below, and I'll try to help you out as much as I can. So yeah, thank you for watching.